Well, what is good, whoever is in the room, and to all of the people that join us in the future for this, what day is it? It's the day of recognizing that all spirits are exactly the same. That's what that's what Halloween means. What's up, Zet Chrono? What's up, Damien? What's up, Kiki? This should be the day of all days. People are like all spooked by it. It's like the day that you go, oh, that's right. No matter what, evil or devil or satanic or demonic, it's all the same. The spirits are the spirits, period. What's up, Supreme Gene and Glitter Kid? As usual, we'll wait a little bit and see who shows up, and then and we'll go from there. But how was everyone's Samhain or All Hallows Eve or Halloween or whatever you might call it? How goes it? What's going on in the building here? What up, Manny? Goddamn is right. Got this new little drum here. Anybody know what a hang drum is? It's like those turtle shell drums. What's up, Patrick Healy? What's going on? I'm about to go pour myself a glass of beverage, a spirit, as it were. I guess we'll do this the right way. Do this the right way here. So the herb saint, the spirit of New Orleans. 90 proof. We'll dig in. See what happens. You know, let me go put this. I have a better idea. What's in here? Some blood. Put it in here so you guys can see. Check it out. The green ghoulish liquid. That's the real deal stuff right there. Apparently, Manny Farm. Apparently you're trapped here, so you might as well make the best of it. So win? What's that mean? What are we talking about? Whatever you want to call it, you know, it's got a million different names. Speak it as you must. Yeah, you can hear that sound a little bit. It's actually sitting on top. It's the camera sitting on top of it, so. What about Lear? Oh, nice. You had to answer a question? You playing with some spirits today, Kiki? That's excellent. You said you want a free reading? Some paranormal ladies in Australia. Nice. What up, Reza? Oh, you got one of these drums? Which one do you got? You got the one with the here, look it. You got one of those, or you got one of the ones with the cuts in it? This isn't mine. Somebody actually he plays the djembe, and his djembe got stolen the other day, and he knew that I just got one, and I haven't even really used it. And so he's like, dude, I want to go to the, he's gonna go to the quarter and play because he plays live in the quarter and makes a little bit of cash, and this ain't really his instrument, and carrying this around is a little more complicated. So he stops over and he's like, dude, I'll trade you this for the day or whatever. So I got myself a little UFO drum. What up, Jessica? I still haven't. I'll get to you. You can just hit me on the Googles or whatever. I say I was gonna call you last night, and I fell asleep mad early. Yeah, I had to get up at like 8 o'clock today, so I kind of went to sleep early last night. But I was gonna call you. I'll talk to you maybe tonight. I don't know. We'll see how drunk I get. If you want drunk Zen, you can talk to drunk Zen maybe later. Because I still want to. I still want to hear what you wanted to talk about. Soar. Okay, like Sao. Sao. Yeah. Okay. Is that Chrono Sao? Yeah. A sticky icky rolling it up. What up, Philip? Oh, nice. It's made of copper. That's wicked. This one's a steel one. This one was pretty expensive apparently. It was like super expensive, like where he's sending, like he got it from Italy or something. Like it's one of the like, I don't know what he's doing with it, because he can play the drums. He's real good, but he's not very responsible with things. I don't know what he's doing with an expensive ass instrument like this. Here's a Ilir. Here's the top. Here we go. I'll go around it. And here's the top. You can get a little bit of bass on it if you hit there's like a bubble at top. So you got one of the cut ones. Yeah, it's a little different than this. You got the ones with the cuts in it. Reza, the cut one, and then this one is like one of the they like printed out. The cut ones is like a dome, and and so they're called I think they're called tongue drums, and this is more of a yeah. It's a little bit different. Oh, you got some absinthe, man. Oh, that's beautiful. You got the real deal absinthe from overseas? Patrick Healy, are you overseas? I don't even know, because I know that in the U.S. it was illegal, then it became illegal, then it was legal again, and then now it's illegal to have Thujon in the absinthe. And even down here, being like the big, New Orleans was very much known for absinthe, but they extract the wormwood out of it. Excuse me, the Thujon out of the wormwood before they make it, so you don't get the proper kind of hallucinations. But if you go and buy yourself wormwood, get yourself some absinthe, and throw the wormwood into the absinthe, well, see what happens. What's up, Kia? Dating. What did I tell you about that, Kia? I'll let you know how they did on their job. Oh, nice. Yeah, this is too expensive to be in my house. Okay, so but Healy though, even if it has wormwood in it, The wormwood has a specific substance called thujone, which is the active ingredient in making you see hallucinations and whatever. And that particular element in there became pretty illegal. So unless you got the bottle from overseas or you got it during a period of time where it wasn't illegal here. Like, I don't, I forget where you said you live at, but Philip, the simple thing on sun gazing is do it as long as you feel comfortable doing it. I don't, I give much different teachings than other people. I have a rhyme or reason in the way that I teach, but I don't like to say, hey, 10 seconds today, 20 seconds tomorrow, 30 seconds the next day, because I know that different people have different capacities, and if I give everybody the same, here's the rules to the game, that's the same thing as they do in the school systems, and it's what puts people at really, you might be able to look into the sun for 3 minutes. Like, I could go outside. I don't look at it too often, but when I do, I could go stare into it for 10 minutes. It doesn't bother me. I might have a couple spots in my eyes for a couple minutes, but all in all, I enjoy it. It'll be difficult for me to start doing, but other people, I wouldn't suggest. If you're very unhealthy, part of getting the sunshine into you is actually causing a bunch of things that go on with your health and melanin and et cetera, et cetera. So if you're the healthier you are, the easier it will be to do. Let's put it that way. So whatever feels comfortable, go out there, and if you look into it for 10 seconds and you feel comfortable, keep doing it. If you get through 2 minutes and you're like, oh, this is easy, this feels good, and I feel comfortable with it, continue on. That's about the easy. It's like lifting weights, man. If somebody asked me to lift weight, how to lift weights, right? How many pounds should I use? If you already 6'2", 220 pounds, and you already a strong dude because you've been living that life, and I tell you, well, start picking up the weight that's 5 pounds, or vice versa. It's not going to make a lot of sense, is it? It really has to do with just general amount of health of your being, and then your eye health as well. And funny enough, I was watching this really good video, and I'm not gonna put it in the thing below. So listen here. I just watched it earlier today. It was I believe it was Andres Mortis, who did a video recently. Well, not recently, but I just seen it, that it was posted recently, on sunshine, vitamin D, and eye health, and all of these different things that the sun does. That literally it's called sunglasses are causing cancer. And I've always, anybody knows that that's a big cause of cancer, but he goes into the kind of a little more scientific, in-depth acknowledgement of what's going on with the sun and the eyeballs. So yeah, check that out. And just to go further than that, like I don't sun gaze that often. I if I were to sun gaze the way somebody told me to, I would probably be at 3 minutes right now. But I had sun gazed prior to the solar eclipse. I probably didn't sun gaze much that year at all. In the prior year, not much either. And then I went out during the solar eclipse and stared at the sun for an hour and a half straight, dead on into the sun. Apparently I should be very blind, but quite the opposite happened. But if you're very unhealthy, staring at the sun for 3 minutes might cause you to detoxify a lot in the body, and you're going to feel some pains, and it's not going to be so good for you. Kiki, work in progress. Oh my god, you got IG crushes? Oh my goodness. Where are we? What world are we in? What? Kia got the IG crush. Reza, what's my take on feudalism? I don't suppose I have one. Are there a bunch of feudalistic societies occurring right now? That's an interesting talk to have. I don't know. I guess I don't have an opinion on it because I don't know the last time that I looked up what a feudalistic society would look like and what that would look like, because there's so many things that people talk about that they don't quite understand. They talk about communism, but they don't realize that communism can't ever occur. And I'm using this just as a little story. People talk about communism all the time, but they don't realize that communism cannot occur if there's any type of economic system that deals with, money, like a money system. Then that can't really occur. Communism, it means a community of people all using everything together. And if you have anything that levels things out using money and using a system of a monetary system, it can't exist. So there's a lot of things that, like, people say, oh, you live in this kind of society, you live in this kind of society. Like, no, actually, no. Like, there's not. Most places are just strictly corporatocracies, strictly capitalist societies, strictly, there's not too many things that get too far out of bounds of that. But yeah, feudalism. I suppose maybe there's probably a lot of places that have somewhat that practice, anyways. Modern day feudalism. Esoterics of pasta. Yeah, isn't that interesting, Torin? That's very funny you say that, because pasta, depending on the shape, how much different it tastes and how much it can hold that sauce in the noodle. Sticky Icky, I did hear about the Sun Simulator. There just seems to be, in this day and age, such a wide variety of information that I always go, okay, so be it. It's a sun simulator. What are we gonna do about it? Maybe it was always a sun simulator. Maybe it's just a new battery pack that they put up in the sky. I mean, I don't know too much about it, but I briefly heard about it. I'm like, oh, here we go. It's just like more shit for people to talk about that they can't do and won't do anything about. So. Zet Chrono. Well, obviously, man, start with a strong mind, and then that mind will put you into positions to, do the things that are athletic. Be athletic, man. There's nothing against being athletic and spirituality. In fact, you should be abundantly attempting to be athletic, doing things that are, that you enjoy doing, that stresses the body, that makes you grow mentally, physically, spiritually. So, as long as you enjoy doing it, I think that's the most important thing. If you're doing it to strive to, like, be better than someone, you might double check on why you're doing something. If it's gonna benefit you and you're gonna feel good about it, and then yeah, dig into it. Find things that you enjoy doing. Oh, that's too bad about the sun gazing. Yeah, last night I got some good sun gazing in. And I had some weird dreams too last night, so that was giant ships. What is something that nobody knows about Halloween? I don't know that I know anything that people don't know, but I think that most people don't see it as anything other than, like, evil and demonic, and, especially when you get into the whole, like, mythos of it. But the understanding is, like, every day should be Halloween. And it's funny, a friend of mine always comments that she goes to work every day and she's like, it's Halloween every day because, and consider this realistically, what would you dress up as if you could? You wouldn't dress the way you do. If you have a job, a 9 to 5, you're putting a pair of slacks on, high heels, or if you're a dude, you're putting a suit and tie on. You would never dress like that. So every day people are playing dress up. Every day people are playing Halloween. And the only time that people aren't actually playing Halloween is on Halloween, when they're actually more like what they would want to look like. So most of that is, like, in a very far contrast to their everyday life. But there tends to be this interesting, if you really looked at it, society plays Halloween every day. They play dress up as they dress up as a spirit and they act something out as a spirit to be part of a corporation. They're part of a dead enterprise. So Halloween is about the dead world and spirits and entities. Yet, these people, so if this is the thing, maybe this is the thing that nobody knows or pays attention to, is that if they go to the 9 to 5, they're dealing with a dead entity, which is a corporation, the corpse, that is being filled with spirits, them, to build up this giant corporation that they are 9 to 5, 365 days a year, the rest of their entire life. They're playing Halloween. They're playing dress up. And they're instilling the energy into a corporation that is actually the most evil thing on the world, on the planet. Corporations are the evilest thing. And then they come out here today and people are worried about a little bit of fucking candy and a little bit of, a couple of drinks and some casual sex, you know? Yeah, people are enslaved every day to Halloween, the real Halloween that occurs the rest of the 364 days. Patrick Healy, I'm guessing you're asking me if I'm in the States. Yeah, I'm in New Orleans. Patrick Healy, Native Americans will not look at the eclipse. Are you sure they're Native Americans? Let's start there. Do you know what Native Americans are? Native Americans are black people that were here. They're not African Americans here. There's a very small number of them. The actual Native Americans are the people that you think came here as slaves that are not slaves. The fake Native Americans are almost all of them, especially the ones that live on the reservations or whatever. They're the ones that are crossbred as either the Slavs, the slaves that came here, the Slavic people, or the Jewish people. Most of them are the Jewish people. The Jews that came here and co-created another, the next generation that is now more light-skinned, Jewish-looking, the way you think of Native American. What you think of as Native American, for most people, going, oh no, that's this really long, straight hair, light skin. No, the Native Americans are what you'd consider Negro or black or a darker colored skin, copper colored skin, curly hair, nappy hair, I mean, that's a really long one to get into, but even get into, like, we look down here, Mardi Gras Indians. The Mardi Gras Indians, the people that here in New Orleans, they're black. They're not the Native Americans people think about. They're black because they're actually from here. This isn't some like French trade of going on. That's not what's really going on here. There's a few that know, but most people you can't come out and say it. Like people don't know. They've been sold a false history, a false narrative of what's going on here, and it's even gone so far as you got people now that I just seen today. This one dumbass out here who's a real fucking faker. He's out there on the Instagram, thinking he's from Africa, claiming now that people from South America are African slaves. It's just so far beyond, like, absurd. But that's a whole nother that's a whole nother talk. A whole nother talk. Yeah, the looking into manifestation occurs quite quickly once you look through the portal of the sun. Kiki and Kia out here with their crushes via the internet crushes. I love it. So Patrick Healy, you actual full on native, or how native are you talking? Like, how far can you trace your lineage back, and what kind of languages do you speak? Like, I mean, for me, everyone is native to the land, so don't ever get me wrong. Everyone's aboriginal, everyone's original, everyone's native to the land they're on. Like, that's for me, for everyone, like, you're all welcome to all the land. That's how I see it. But from the separation and the segregation and the mixed up lies of the history to actually pull people from their own heritage and their own understanding of where their people came from. There's a giant washing of that information that's it's pretty brutal. Yeah, and Zet Chrono, get to body weight exercises, man. Body weight, and I'm gonna do some things really soon on body weight exercises and physical and movement patterns, primal movement patterns, and animalistic moving patterns. What's up, Jordan? No, it's not mine. I don't know if you heard it already. It's not mine. It's a friend of mine's. He traded for my djembe for the day, because he had to go bang some tunes out in the quarter and make some money. Yeah, Lion Strong. The George Carlin joke about is it's called the American Dream because you have to be sleeping to believe it. Although very interestingly, if you look up the word American, two parts, Ameri, A-M-E-R, wait, is it A-M-E-R-I and C-A-N? A-M-E-R-I and C-A-N, no, is it A-M-E-R and I-C-A-N? But there's two languages that it actually spells out and says like bright soul or something. I forgot, it's right behind the picture here. It's on this. I just looked it up before playing with this, getting on here with you guys, and I just forgot the languages. I wish I'll do next episode. I'll start with that, and I'll let you know what it is. But it was like two very interesting languages that American means something very, very interesting. Yeah, this is definitely lots of spirits here. Oh, Torin, yeah, I think so. I think there are corporations trying to help the world. I think there has to be. You know, if there wasn't, things would be, shit would be, we would already be done. Like, we'd be done. This shit wouldn't be happening. You know what I mean? Anybody that's always on this, like, oh, it's coming, or it's the Masons, the da da da, the New World Order. You know, it's always like that shit would have been done if the corporations and there were only bad people at the head of these things. Only when I say bad people, you know, people that are just domineering, controlling, and patriarchal. If that's all there was, this would already have been done. This whole experiment, whatever we are on Earth, would have been squashed. So there seems to have to be. Just like within any institution, there's the good people, you know, the people that are like, huh, they're kind of just in there trying to make sure that things don't go too bad. Interesting. Well, the Native Americans, interesting, but yeah, Sticky Icky, that's interesting because the actual natives here, wouldn't they have been called either Americans or Indians? Like you know, what did they? But then we have to go. What did they call themselves during the time? What were their languages? What did they speak? So when whatever people came here, and obviously there wasn't some motherfucker named Christopher Columbus, because people better get really clued in there. CC 33, Christ offering of Columbus, which means a dove, a white dove to the new land. Some dude didn't float over here in a fucking boat looking for it. Like, that's easy stuff. But like what really happened and what happened with all of the influx, it seems to be like the influx of boats coming here were all bringing white slaves and then taking and stealing, you know, stealing the melanated from this land, going back the other way. I mean, that's a really, really long story to get into, but when you start to ask where are all the ships and how did they put these people on here, and you start to get into like none of the stupid ass shit makes sense. There's no, especially when you start to get into languages and histories and oral traditions and yeah. But that's interesting, Sticky Icky. Yeah, I mean, if there is any kind of real, elite of something, it would have to be the more melanated, the more melanation you have seems to turn into that Black Panther. Like that's why that guy was created that way. Like that's information. That's built up information. That's like you look at the soil or the soul. Why do black people have soul? Because they have soil. Because they're black. The black is the darkness, which is the ingestion of the sun, which is the information. So from that level, yeah, it should be. But how did the Zionists take over? Where did that first thing? Was it the monetary system and all of the, was it the magician? Were there magicians, like real deal magicians playing with some magic, or were just the Smiths that were doing things? Seems like the Smiths had a big hand in it, but who are the ones living in the reservations? Well, it would seem when you look at who's living on the reservations and look what they look like, and then consider they're all getting checks, they're all living there for free. Sounds kind of Zionist to me. Sounds kind of Jewish to me. I don't know. I don't go there. I don't know for sure. But the little bits of pieces of information it seems to be. But then again, when you talk to these people, they don't, like, how would they know? They don't know they're 5 generations ago. All they know that they're living there now. They might know to their grandparents. How much of their parents, their grandparents tell them when they're living on a reservation for free. Who knows? You know. And so if we really look at the numbers and the colors and where people are living, like, why is it that every major city, the number of melanated people seem to outnumber the non-melanated? How come they're not, like, how did they get put into the ghettos or the cities? Because those are the real reservations. Because then it gets into the economy thing and things like this, but the elite are colorless. Yeah, I bet. Hmm. Yeah, well, good thing you didn't. Good thing you didn't drop out because Wait, when were you in high school, kid? I wasn't even on here doing these things. So this is all brand new being material right here. Any magic that I recommend for tonight? I think anything. I think anything. Do something. It's a new season. Essentially, when you look at it from the sense of the fall is called autumn, which is Adam. Autumn, it's called atum, to fall into the tomb. So you should do magic towards like a new season. To it's in essence a burial of things of the past. It gets into you know what the winter represents. But again, I think it should be more localized, because like for me, I'm not gonna have a winter here. There's no winter in New Orleans really. It doesn't get that cold. So whatever I would do magically would be a little different than other people like. But if you're in states that have all the seasons, well then look into doing magic that is more earthy and more, you know, get into earthy type magic, because that's what you're going to be doing. You'll be more inside, indoors, fire magic and earth magic, burying things, burning things. This is the time you'd be end of the season. Like what are you gonna be doing? You essentially be taking all of your vegetables that you've now harvested. You harvested at the beginning of the month, and then after that harvest season, the same day the harvest. Remember the harvest moon and the harvest that happened out in Las Vegas. The harvest. They're harvesting your mind. Well, that harvest, and now you'd be taking all the things and putting them into jars and saving them for the winter. And so you'd either be burning off everything, burning down the things that you don't need, and that's the kind of magic. It's more of a, it's a getting rid of and stockpiling kind of time. What's up, Antone and Nanya? The Freemason Lodge down everybody's street, huh? Oh, thanks, Kia. Wicked. Yeah, they gotta. Hey, Zet Chrono, they gotta support their own business, you know. Yeah, spring is a spring forward, right? Um, Torrent, I've never been to one. They might be. Go check one out. Ilir, similar play on the word summer. Summer, I think is. I don't know. I've never played with the word summer. But yeah, I'll play with her. I'll play around with it tonight, though. See what I get out of it. Spring is definitely to bring forth something. Yeah, it's like spring water to bring up and rise up something. Yeah. Summoning, yeah, summoning. There you go. Summoning. I was definitely with this the summer or the somber or the summoning in the summer. Yeah. Yeah, it was Lion Strong. You know, who could be a Zionist and claim to be one walking around in a normal street? I don't know. Could anyone really claim that? I mean, what? But then you'd have to ask yourself, what is a Zionist? Does Zionist mean the illusionist? What if I'm a Zionist, but I just never claim it? Well, who's not a Zionist? But if you really mean in the sense of there are Zionists out there, there's a group of people that are the Zionists. They're not walking around in the Americas, probably. They're not walking around amongst the general populace. But if you further investigate into what is a Zionist, what does that word mean? Where does it come from? It would seem to be high-level magician. So maybe they are walking amongst you. What up, Declan? Well, have fun with the fast, man. That's awesome. It's an interesting time to start one with the cold weather and everything. But yeah, that's good having a goal, man. The first one I did was a straight 40. Zach Chrono, I don't know anything about it, man. But if I was one, I'd have to say that. I don't know, man. I walk into a building, see what happens. I don't know, dude. Go online, do a little research. Shit, look for somebody that has a license plate that says Mason on it. I see lots of people with Masonic license plates all the time. I woke up and asked them. Ask them what's up. Just remember though that Albert Pike told you real clearly that the first 32 levels of Freemasonry are all designed to confuse you. Albert Pike said as soon as he was illuminated within the lodges that the first 32 levels are all for confusion. So if you get involved, have fun with those 32 levels. But then again, you got to think: is there anybody that isn't? Is there anybody that's been to a school system that isn't a Mason to some degree? You go to a school system, you're a Mason. What do you think happens whenever you come out and graduate? You have a mortar board yeah, on your skull. You've gone through. You've graduated. You know, they retarded your development so you could graduate as having a certain degree. Why do you think you go to college and get a degree? I mean, you got to figure a lot of people are Masons. There's a lot of them. I mean, statistically speaking, if there's 300 million people in the country and there's how many Freemasons? 3 million? Is that I don't even know what the numbers are. Maybe like a million, like a third of a percent. That's still a lot. Yeah, that Chrono. He said it's a club of gentlemen that talk about valued knowledge. Maybe. I don't know. You know, I went through my studies and my research about what it was and whatever. People have different opinions on how to use the knowledge, and there is a different, there's different orders, instructions, and creeds, and you could join a fraternity or a lodge or something, and it could be one that is pushed and pulled and move, like the ideas are told in a non-helpful way. Who knows who's the leader of that lodge, what their goal is. I mean, there's like a corporation, man. You go start working for a company and you're not the kingpin of the company. You don't know what is on their mind. What up, Zenith? Would would you shake a Rothschild's hand? Sure. I don't know these fucking people. I got nothing against them. I got no qualms with them. I don't know who they are. As far as I know, it's all media campaign this way, that way, and another way. I don't know a damn thing about these people. You know, I can't sit here and judge them. I don't know them. If there happens to be an economic system in place that's been going on for a couple hundred years, and I'm going to blame one of the children of the Rothschilds, it'd be ridiculous on my part. What am I going to do? Like, oh, I'll stab you, buddy. I hate you. You're a bad man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd probably have less of a problem meeting someone like that than I would, meeting a person that's a pediatrician. I would tell that person straight to their face that they're poisoning children. But then again, I can't even really judge them because they've gone through a system believing that they're helping. Everyone believes they're helping. There's not too many people out here that are just demonic, evil, Luciferian, blah blah blah. In fact, most people that you meet that are satanic or Luciferian or anything are probably nicer people than your neighbors. Especially black magicians and occultists. They're way better people, if there is such a thing. Yeah, Super Champion Rocker. I assume to a degree, on the lower levels it is, but in the higher levels, like, if you're a self-initiated one into the secrets, into the knowledge, into the data banks, it's probably something way different. Somebody that joins a club versus somebody that knows the information and uses it, wildly different. Declan, I think you would be I think an entire year you'd be well ahead of the game. I don't think it'd even take that long. I think it'd probably only take a few months. I think depending on your level of health right now, you know, I assume people to be at an average level of health that are here, average to good. I don't assume too many people are coming here that are completely out of complete whack and don't know anything about anything. I assume that you'd be in decent shape. So I would say 6 months would be more than enough. I think you'd be in a really, really good place, and then you'd find your comfort level of what you'd want to consume. Jessica, your son wants to shake my hand. He said, you can come and he can come and meet me. He may. I'm in New Orleans. I'm always available. My city. I am the city. Enlighten. I don't have an opinion on the fourth way because I don't know it that well. I would assume I like that there's one way. There's only one way. And it doesn't have to do with the middle path either. The one way is the way, well, however the hell you want to do it. That's the one way. Flo Bartholomew. What up, Unstance? So I'll probably be on here for like 15 more minutes, maybe 10 more minutes, because I'm probably going to start drinking heavily and go embarrass myself somewhere and try to do some strange things in the quarter. But I think I ate too many eggs to be drinking like this. It's not gonna be a good night. Oh, of course, freak. How am I feeling? Swell, well, decent, magical, splendid, wonderful, creative. Okay. Katesh's gonna have her outfit on. Are you gonna be on a green screen wearing green? That would be pretty cool. Then you could just like plot over it anything you wanted. Hey, you say you forgot it's Halloween, Unstance? Come on. There is a little Halloweenness going on. Zenith, I did not. I will look right now. Where did you send it to my? Am I guessing that Theo Luminous account? Let me see here. Hey, Zach Chrono, that is fucking hilarious, and I agree with you 100%. I agree with that 100%. That's hilarious. Yeah, where did you send me email, yo? Zenith, you sent me an email? At Theo Luminous? Because if you did, I did not get it. Let me look at my spam or whatever. Nope. Nah, B. I did not get it. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, Lion Strong. Oh, Zen Alchemistry? Let me see. Um, yeah. Nah. No. I didn't. That's so funny. They be fucking with my shit for sure. I'll check my. Yeah, you sent me email. I mean, I got it. It's funny because even sometimes you send me things on like YouTube or something, and I won't be able to click on it. I don't know. A lot of people tell me they can't connect my shit. I guess I'm saying too much awesome things out here, being too cool or something. Yeah, I didn't try again. Send it to Theoluminous. Send it to the email that's underneath this, Zenith, because I didn't get your other one, dude. And are you sure you sent it to Zen Alchemistry? Yeah, Zenith, if you send it to Zen Alchemist, I don't have Zen Alchemist. It's Zen Alchemistry, RY. So I don't know if you maybe typed it in wrong. Yeah, check it out because it would be ending in the RY. Exactly what you just spelled with an RY at the end at Gmail. Yeah, trying to the Tron bot. There's other there's other Trons out here. Hmm. Anyways, so yeah, what's good in the room here? What's going on? I guess I'll just I'll screw around for like 5 more minutes here. If anybody wants to know anything, I was gonna do like a whole show on some things, but I figured I'll save it till tomorrow because I had a couple bigger ideas, and I didn't know who would show up today because it was Hallows Eve. Declan, that's a very big guess. A very big guess. I got no guesses. You got me. You gave me 0 clues here. It is Zen Alchemist. Let me see. Let's see if you got this. Yep. You are correct. Zenith, you are correct. That is what it is. I mean, I don't know if it matters that you don't need to capitalize the Z or the A. I don't know. I know a couple other people had trouble sending me things there. I don't know. I don't know why. Wicked, Declan. I told you, yo. That's excellent, man. That's awesome. See, Declan, the cards, I didn't even need to ask the cards. You already knew. Wicked, man. So you just upgraded your pay scale, man. I did carpentry for years, man. Not like the high level carpentry, but like I wasn't up doing like really next level like planes and stuff, freak. Well, you know what? You shouldn't even feel like you're very high in a plane. You're basically you're sitting in the seat, man. You ain't that high at all. I don't really have a problem with it. I mean, it's a funny thing. It's a weird thing, but Lion Storm, that's a great idea. But today, here's the thing, and I use this example a lot of times. Is some people would just be dropping currency. You don't got to be a parasite to pick up dropped currency. When I went to the Apple store, I just walked in. It was like, it's like, oh, these people are just throwing energy off. They don't want it. That ain't parasitic. That's just being smart. All right, Anton and Anya. Yeah, y'all. I got like 3 more minutes, and I think I'm gonna kick it out of here too, and try my hand at doing some weird things. Maybe put on a gown, a big golden garb. Oh, Zenith, how do you use other people's energy? Suck it up without man, yeah. That's the easiest way to do it. I mean, you're collecting with all your portals anyways. With your eyeballs you can, but it's easier with the hand. An open hand, you definitely collect energy. Just know that when you're doing it, remember this one thing. It's just like doing Reiki. That you better breathe, because you don't want it to get stuck somewhere in you. You don't want to get it stuck in your body, especially if it's if you got people got negative energy coming off them. This is like when you do Reiki on someone. If you don't breathe properly, you can't move that energy. Will get stuck in you. But in the larger scope of just energy in abundance out there, yeah, collecting, and just make sure you're processing it by breathing and not like stop breathing. Oh, what up, Sun Soul? And how do you hold your energy? I mean, hey Gideon, I gave a couple fun little tidbits into Halloween. I didn't go too deep on it. I gave a little bit, so feel free to scroll back to the beginning and check it out. Yeah, Zena, just by breathing properly, you really be able to hold your own energy. And then there's the method of squeezing your taint. There's three things going on down there. There's what you pee out of, there's what you poop out of, and there's that thing in the middle. And if you can learn how to use those separately, usually when you clench, you're clenching all three. But there's one there is basically the main focus of clenching to hold energy. So when you breathe in, you'd hold that to hold your energy in, and then when you breathe out, you would let that go. So you'd breathe in and hold it, and you push out the energy and let that go, and that releases the energy. So there's a way of using that as a focal point and a place of pressure to build up pressure. Lion strong. That's a good place to be. I understand. Who doesn't? If you haven't ever felt that way, you're not. You know, the fact that you feel that way is the fact that you feel. You know. Some people are like, oh, how could you ever feel that way? I'm like, what do you mean? How could you ever? How could you not feel that way? That's not. Yeah, you'd get pretty bored though, Lion Strong, with being the only person on Earth, though, huh? Well, Alzina, that was kind of the story for today. Is that, of course, we're all spirits anyway. So any other day is the same as today. I think the old version of Halloween was literally groups of people coming together to raise one stronger spirit. Not that people don't do that today, but in a different sense of like raising the dead, speaking to the spirits of ancestors, bringing a larger archonic force of energy up to work with it on one specific day. Yeah. I mean that still happens, just it's not understood. But certainly here, if you were walking next to me, you'd be walking with partially Zen spirit and partially the spirit of New Orleans. And then as I consume more of that, you'd be you'd be walking with more of the spirit of New Orleans and less of my spirit. And then if we got to about 2 in the morning, you're gonna be walking around fully with that, and 2% of me, 98% of that. That's how that works. So when people are out in abundance in mass, especially when they're consuming alcohol, you're walking around with different spirits. It's basically just changing bodies. Like either my spirit is in this body, or my spirit plus the spirit of that, or maybe an ancestral spirit, or maybe there's all sorts of spirits that can be inside of people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear you, Zenith. That's awesome. I'm glad you like that one. Um, an actual haunted house, I believe. I believe so. I'm sure. In other cities, that have claimed that these places were haunted. Yeah, I've been in places like those, and here there's quite a many. And there's actually a story that I've told about a place that I go that I got my tarot decks at. That the day that I went in there, a book just fell off the shelf. I was talking to somebody and the book just fell off the shelf. There's no reason for this to happen at all. And the person's like, yeah, this place is said to be very haunted, and things like this always happened here. And I mean, I know the dude that works there pretty well. It's not just some story, because there's plenty of places they build a story up. Oh, here's an old spooky building where here's all this crazy shit that happened, and it's just a story. As New Orleans is Storyville for a reason, because so many stories were told just to keep people away with the stories. But there certainly is an interesting energy in a lot of places. So yeah, I think I definitely have been into haunted or spirit driven houses. And Zenith, I don't know how to answer that question really that well. I think because I've never come in contact with someone that was completely like, I think I've come in contact with a couple people that I'm like, this person's not fucking human. Like saying to myself, like jokingly but serious, like they have no human soul, no spirit, no. Their eyes are, they'll just look at their eyes, man. Their eyes are all beady and like, they're like, like out there. There's nothing in there behind them. Yeah, you could find those. That's, as Descartes said, the eyes are the seat to the soul. What up, Andrew Christensen? You came here right at the end, man. What up, Justin Sane? Gideon, I don't know if it's worldwide. I'd assume some form of the concept is pretty much worldwide for sure. Because the same form of magic, the same form of the underlining where this whole thing came from, what magic is, what culture was, how it was designed. I would assume there's some form of Halloween. Well, Zenith, I mean, there's a good chance you were to a degree, you know what I mean? Everyone's possessed to a degree from certain, those people that you're kind of like, oh, I don't want to lose this person or something, and you do things that you wouldn't rather do. That's a form of possessment. Someone possesses someone. Like, there's always levels to this. We when we're healthy, we actively and consciously engage with being possessed or possessing to a degree, to a small level. But when we're not aware, that's not very healthy. And most people are not aware that these things occur. And this gets into really deep psychological stuff that I'll dig into another time. But yeah, we're all have our addictions have to deal with possessions, requirements, addictions, possessions. Yeah, so check it out, yo. I'm gonna yeah, Zenith, we'll talk soon though. So I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. I'm gonna go explore this little this Halloween festival here in New Orleans because it is bigger than it's bigger for the people here than it is than even Mardi Gras, and Mardi Gras is the stuff, but Halloween's crazier. So I'm gonna go out and see what I see. And maybe I'll get back on here later. Maybe if I'm out somewhere and there's internet, I'll come on and just be a drunken idiot, and we can, I don't know, we can play I Spy or something. All right, y'all. Talk to you soon though. Bong bong.